And welcome to New York City for the Old Gatbox podcast and radio show. We've been here covering the U.S. Open, which has been fantastic. All this brought to you by Casa de Campo, our friends in the Dominican Republic. Go to casadecampo.com. It is the best golf resort in the Caribbean. Yeah, the U.S. Open was amazing the last couple of days. The energy and the electricity inside Arthur Ashe Stadium, which is the biggest tennis venue in the world, is unmatched. And watching Jakob Sinner, the number one player in the world, last night, and he dominated a fellow countryman in Italy, but it's crazy how much fun it is. Literally tens of thousands of people walking around the grounds. We were there all day long. We even stopped off in Louis Armstrong Stadium to watch the doubles matches, which is the old venue, which is amazing in its own right, but about a half the size of the new venue, Arthur Ashe Stadium. If you're a tennis fan, it is something that you need to partake in. It's a bucket list thing if you love tennis. If you just love a great sporting event at an incredible venue, then I highly suggest the U.S. Open. And oh, by the way, yesterday during the afternoon, Cliff Drysdale, the longtime tennis announcer, a great player in his own right back in the day, a legend, said goodbye. And Thursday will be his final match, the women's semifinals, final match he'll announce on ESPN. And it was a very heartwarming, touching ceremony live on ESPN. And all the greats were there. Chrissy Everett was there. My friend Patrick McEnroe was on hand. All the people that he's worked with over the years, Brad Gilbert. There was about a dozen people up on the stage. And Cliff shed a tear or two. It was fun. It was fun to be there to see it. And again, it's right out there for everybody, thousands of people to walk around and see. So very, very cool deal. Lots going on down in the streets of New York City as we're talking to you here on the Old Gatbox podcast and radio show. It's time now for the Pigskin Prognosticator of Prodigious Proportions. Remember, if you listen to us as we do our picks, you'll wake up Monday morning independently wealthy. And oh, by the way, we're on every Monday morning, 8:15 Central Time, 9:15 Eastern, Tide 100.9, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, with the legend, Coach Wimp Sanderson, and his son, Barry. We have a great time. Those guys are cut-ups, and they give me a hard time, but so far so good at our picks here early in the season. So here we go. This was, I thought, a very underrated matchup here in the second week of the season. Illinois is ranked 12th in the country. They're at Duke on Saturday. The Illini favored by 3. Brett Bielema has done a really nice job. You know, he was a very successful coach at Wisconsin, took the Arkansas job, trying to get more money for his assistant coaches, etc. Didn't have a lot of success at Arkansas. Was close, but couldn't get it done. Winds up going to the NFL to be an assistant on Bill Belichick's staff with the New England Patriots. Winds up getting the opportunity at Illinois and has slowly built this program. And it's above respectability. Illinois is really, really good. And they'll be challenged at Duke. Manny Diaz in his second year at Duke, coming off a 9-4 season. This is a heck of a matchup. It really is. Two good quarterbacks. Luke Altmaier at Illinois. If you're not familiar with him, you should be. One of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten, if not the country. Darian Mensah transferred from Tulane to come to Duke. So a couple of talented quarterbacks there. I just think Altmaier is a guy who's a very accurate passer. Illinois can run the football. They're really strong on the offensive line, and they can stop the run. The old adage, right? Run the football, stop the run, win the giveaway, takeaway. Hadn't changed over the years. That's how Bielema plays it. And I think this is a significant win for Illinois because their schedule gets really hard after this with the likes of Ohio State and Penn State and some other teams down the road. So this is important. This would be their 7th consecutive win. And I think at Duke, which is not a big home field advantage for Duke in any way, small stadium, it might be full, it may not be, but I think Illinois takes advantage and covers that 3-point spread. Meantime, Southeastern Conference, Ole Miss, 9.5-point favorite at Kentucky. Who knows what to expect from Kentucky? One win a year ago in the Southeastern Conference for Mark Stoops and company. Really a bad season. And that win, by the way, in Oxford. and likely cost Ole Miss a playoff bid. But the rosters have changed over, especially the Ole Miss roster. New quarterback, Austin Simmons. If you remember him a year ago, came in and quarterback to drive there against Georgia and did a really good job. And he's a smart kid, an athletic kid, fits right into what Coach Kiffin wants to do. First game I know was Georgia State, but Ole Miss ran up 695 total yards. Offensively, I think they're going to score a lot of points. Kentucky is strong defensively. There's no doubt about it. That's always been kind of the MO of Mark Stoops. No different. The question is, can Kentucky score against Toledo? Zach Calzada, their transfer quarterback, the kid who started at Texas A&M years ago, 10 of 23 for 85 yards. And they won a close one against Toledo. I know you don't put a lot of stock in the opener because Kentucky obviously was looking ahead to this Ole Miss game. Big game for them. I just think Ole Miss has too much offensively to keep them down the whole game. And I'm just not sure about Kentucky offensively. I think Ole Miss covers the 9.5 in Lexington. And perhaps the game of the week is Michigan at Oklahoma. The Sooners favored by 5. First time Michigan has ever gone to a Southeastern Conference school and played a regular season road game. I thought that was significant when you talk about history. Of course, Oklahoma's a new kid on the block when it comes to the Southeastern Conference, but it's still history. Michigan has their brand new quarterback, Bryce Underwood, #1 recruit in the country, and now this will be his first true road test at Oklahoma before that crowd. Night game. It'll be a frenzied atmosphere. Head coach Brett Venables, Oklahoma. They're going to do all sorts of crazy blitzes and that sort of thing to the freshman quarterback. Michigan's going to try to run the football. They're going to be very conservative. And I think this game will be close at halftime and into the third quarter. John Mateer, the transfer quarterback for Oklahoma, appears to be a guy who's going to help Oklahoma if they can avoid injuries. I just think Oklahoma at home against a freshman quarterback, the crowd is going to be just all revved up. I mean, it's the Michigan Wolverines coming into town, and I think Oklahoma gets it done and covers that 5-point spread. Man, I'm excited about the second week of college football and excited about going back one more day to the United States Open. New York City, the weather has been fantastic. I love being here. I really do, but I love also going home. So next week, the Old Gap Box podcast and radio show will be back as we get ready for the restart of the PGA Tour season. And again, we're just a couple of weeks away from coming back to New York for a little match called the Ryder Cup, which could be an epic situation in professional golf as far as crowd, electricity. Some people are saying it'll be the biggest golf match in the modern era, biggest golf event in the modern era. We'll talk more about that in coming weeks, coming days on the Old Gap Box podcast. We'll say so long from the Big Apple.